Welcome to this special fashion episode dedicated to the queens that we saw at New York Fashion Week. My name is Dani Walker. Welcome to the channel. If you enjoy content like this, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing, hitting that notifications bell, clicking that super thanks button, or just sharing this episode with a friend. I greatly appreciate you. This is a fun episode that I haven't created in a while. And what's so sad to me is that we haven't seen quite as many queens attend New York Fashion Week. And this is the last fashion week before they compete at Miss USA and Miss Universe. So this is it, friends. This is all we have. I'm going to showcase a mix of queens from USA and Universe. I feel so bad for the contestants though, because when I was competing, so many of us showed up at Miss USA. We had this huge group and it was such a fun time because you got to bond and meet other contestants. It's a special moment and experience. So ladies, if you get opportunities like this, where there's going to be lots of queens, just go. Just go. Don't overthink it. Don't forget before you exit this episode to click the description where I've shared my free pageant prep course for all of my viewers out there that are preparing for their next pageant. One group of queens that we saw was Proctor Productions. Proctor Productions are a USA director and they direct Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, and Kentucky. What's interesting about this is that last year, Elle, Miss Kentucky USA at the time, walked for Sherry Hill's New York Fashion Week. There's an interesting kind of common denominator when a title holder walks for Sherry Hill prior to her national or her international competition. She tends to win. So the queens that walk for Sherry are always ones to watch out for. But what's interesting to me here is that we saw Kentucky walking as well as Michigan USA, but we did not see Pennsylvania or Ohio walk for Sherry Hill. Now, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but Sherry Hill is the one that ultimately is deciding who is walking in her show. So there could be any number of reasons why we only saw 2 of the Proctor Productions title holders walk at Fashion Week. I was able to find this little clip of Michigan walking and she looked beautiful in this pastel, beautiful in this lavender, but it's not a really great clip that I have. We did get this one pretty casual streetwear look from Miss Michigan USA, but it's Fashion Week, ladies. You can really show up and I wish that we would have seen that. Although Pennsylvania didn't walk, she did sit front row at Sherry Hill. So here's a photo and a little clip that I found of her. I'm not sure why, but we didn't see a lot of image from the Proctor Productions title holders at Fashion Week. I think that that is a missed opportunity. If I were those title holders, I would have been posting photos the whole time at Fashion Week. Of course, we had some Miss Universe contestants show up for Fashion Week. Thailand and Brazil were able to meet up, do a little photo shoot, and go to the Miss Universe offices. I love this. I love when contestants get to meet prior to the international competition. And honestly, I think that a lot of pageant fans love it. And it does so much for unity when we can see these contestants that are from 2 totally different countries, very different cultures, come together. And I think it's always such a beautiful thing to see. Plus, we get to see a little bit of their style and fashion. I was at New York Fashion Week. If you want to see my vlog, you can watch that. I'll link it right here. And I also thrifted all of my outfits. So it was a months-long process to put together all of my looks for Fashion Week. So if you want to see that, I have another episode dedicated to that as well. And in this case, for Miss Universe Thailand and Brazil, I would say both of their outfits were appropriate. The weather was hot and cold depending on the day during Fashion Week. I don't know what day that they shot this image, but these outfits I'm sure would have been fine to wear in the city. And they're different, but they made a lot of sense for the season. Miss Connecticut USA was present and she walked for a handbag company, but I wish she would have shown more images. I think that this one's okay. She's at the event, but if I were her, there's so many great places to shoot in New York. All you really got to do is step out onto the sidewalk and you can have a great image. And I wish she would have taken advantage of that. Here Miss Thailand was meeting Paula Shugart at the Miss Universe offices. And I feel like the contestants that take that extra step and they go and they meet Paula before Miss Universe, they tend to do quite well and often place. The last queen I'm going to talk about in this episode, I think was the star of New York Fashion Week, for pageantry at least, Laksmi, Putri Indonesia. Oh my gosh, she showed up. The really cool thing is that she was present for Indonesia Now, which was a Fashion Week presentation at the shows, which is really like the official New York Fashion Week. I was supposed to be there and the building hit capacity, so the fire marshal shut that down. You can see the whole fiasco in my vlog. But I was able to go to another show that she attended with an Indonesian designer, the Irigo show, and I had no idea that she was there because she wasn't in her crown or sash. So it was really crowded, it was really packed. If I would have known, I would have asked her to jump on the vlog and featured her and of course taken a photo with her. I am sorry that I didn't have that opportunity for all of you. Hopefully we'll have that opportunity again. I would really love to visit Indonesia within the next year. I'm working on that. But just take a look at her here on the red carpet for New York Fashion Week. Oh my gosh, I love this look. Love the pants, the feathers. She's so luxe. She's what you could say is over the top for other casual things, but it's Fashion Week. You can do so much. And the other really cool thing is she spent a lot of time just capturing all of these really cool street style images in different types of photography, different styles of photography. Here she is in her casual look by the Brooklyn Bridge. She had more of an evening gown look when she was meeting with sponsors. I love this little street style vibe. This is just, it's very New York. It's very New York. She's very casual, but she's got that blurred effect on it. There was a swipe. Just go follow her Instagram if you want to see everything. Here she is dressed in Irigo for the Irigo show, looking so cute. Love the slip dress. I really love this black and white shot in the city. This is so cool with all the steam coming up from the grates behind her. So New York. This is a fun look, this sequin corset, but then it's dressed down with the jeans. I just loved it. I love what she brought to Fashion Week. I loved that we saw so much variation in her wardrobe, and because nobody else really showed up, she stood out even more. Even more. Ladies, you need to be present. Don't just disappear off the face of the earth after you get your crown, or don't disappear even after you've crowned your successor. You don't have to be a current title holder to go to Fashion Week. I still go every season. I go every season. I get to meet people. I get to create more content. I get to share that with everybody. People get excited. You have to create opportunities for yourself. You can't just give up. I have a piece of advice for all of you. I know that it's a shock when you crown your successor and suddenly you're not the queen anymore. She's the queen. She's the one now getting the invites. And it kind of feels like you're starting from square one again, because you're like, okay, well, I can't get an invite because I'm Miss Montana USA. What am I gonna do now? You can still get an invite to places. You can still say I was a former Miss Montana USA. And then you can also continue to pursue whatever other passions that you have, like for me, YouTube. And then you can use that to lead to get invited to events like this. I even created an episode about how you can get invited to New York Fashion Week. And a lot of the things that I talk about in that episode will work for other events. So check that one out. Ladies, don't give up on your dreams. Even if you don't get that Miss Universe title or that Miss USA title, you can still be pursuing those dreams. You can still make it. You can still show up and do all of this. And that just reminded me, where in the world was Miss USA? Listen, I know that a lot of people were very displeased when Miss USA would just walk for Sherry Hill and she would go to shows like Nicole Miller, and a lot of people criticized her looks. I'm not gonna say that I didn't. I'm not gonna say that I loved Miss USA's looks for the past few years at New York Fashion Week. I think that the styling could have been better for all of our title holders. I think that the outfits could have done more to suit each of their individual body types, skin tone, hairstyles, all of that. Anyways, that's a whole other thing. But I missed Miss USA at New York Fashion Week. What in the world? What in the world? Why wasn't Elle at shows? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And I think that Harnaz was at 1. I think I saw something. I'm sure she did something for Fashion Week, but she did go to the season before, because I remember we have photos in the same place, but we were there at different times, or else I would have said, hey, hello, Harnaz, congrats. But yeah, I just feel like they need to be present again. Why are they not? This would be one of the easiest events to feature Miss USA and Miss Universe and get their foot in the door. What's going on? Anyways, I always have lots of thoughts about these pageants, but thanks for tuning into this episode. I hope that you really enjoyed it and that you've chosen to subscribe and you want to come back for lots more. I'll see you next time.